Get it! Get it!
Here comes the shag!
Micro trip.
Well, the sun is shining. We had a little drizzly stuff earlier in the week, but the weekend weather is looking fantastic. G'day folks, it's Ando from Boss Outdoor with this week's fishing report. Well, how good's the fishing? Trevally in particular. Everyone loves a Trevor. Let's start way down there at Bar Beach. Fantastic location if you're the shore-based angler. Plenty of little areas around there with little back eddies and so on, especially if you're fishing with soft plastics. But while we're talking about Trevally down at Bar Beach, there's also some really nice brim down there. A couple of happy customers come into the store. Ahmed and his crew went down there, got some Trevally, caught some beautiful brim on bait too. So hedge your bets, flick a plastic while you've got a bait set. Moving up in the channel, we've had a lot of hire boats go out. A lot of guys have been catching beautiful flathead, Trevally, brim and tailor. So the channel's on fire all the way through from Bar to the bridge. Pushing up past the bridge, into the main channel, before the lake, before the basin, heaps of blue swimmer crabs. Drop a pot, you're going to get a feed of blue swimmers, but when you get up into the lake, again, more Trevally, still a few odd dewies around, heaps of tailor, and I hear some flatties coming from around the edges as well. So fishing in the estuary is red hot at the moment, and while we're on the estuaries, the surrounding estuaries, Pambula and Bega River, both very good. Some nice dewies coming out of the Pambula River. The Brown family got involved and got a beautiful dewey and a nice little snapper as well, so well done. So if you do want to target these fish on soft plastics, particularly the Trevally, keep your soft plastics relatively small, so anywhere from 2.5 to 3 inches, and lightly weight them. Don't weight them up too heavily. So for example, I've been getting a few Trevally and I've been using the Daiwa Bait Junkie prawn, and I've been rigging that on a 1/16 head with a size 2 hook. Smearing a little bit of S-Factor on that as well, just for a little bit of extra scent, but it's doing the trick. So the thing with a prawn imitation plastic is you don't want it to plummet like you would with a paddle tail fish or a T-tail shad. You want it to glide, because a prawn will naturally glide then flick, where a fish will probably swim to the bottom, have a pick, then swim up. So when you're using prawn imitations, rig them lighter, get them to glide, and you'll get the bite. So if you want to chance your hand at targeting a big flathead, you're in luck. There's some absolute horses around, as Ian Smith has found out. But also our staff member, Shane Shannon, got himself an absolute horse up at Mogarika the other day. Now, the fish was 88 centimetres long. Judging by the use of his brag mat, I reckon we can find it within the budget here at Boss Outdoor to shout him a Boss brag mat so he can actually fit his fish on it. Good on you, Shane. So while there are many great shore-based locations around the Merimbula foreshore, this one in particular, the Marina Jetty outside the front of Boss Outdoor, is an absolute ripper. Now, if you're fishing here, there's a broad expanse here. With the tide running out like this, it's ideal. You want to cast up current and allow either your soft plastic or bait just to come down with the current, and you might find that it'll be intercepted before it gets too far down the line. But once your bait or your soft plastic gets down current, rip it in and go again, because 2 reasons. It's going to look unnatural because it's pulling against the current rather than coming with the flow. And the other reason is you're going to bump into another angler's line, so a little bit of etiquette when you're fishing shoulder to shoulder on the wharf, but great spot to fish. Drop a burley bag over the side, tie it off to one of these cleats, get a little bit of burley going there, and you'll get the brim and the Trevally coming up. The stingrays will push in. If you see a stingray, I guarantee you there'll be Trevally hanging off the back of it. So drop a bait around that, and I'm pretty sure you're going to come up tight with a good Trevally. There's been some beautiful brim being caught here at the moment, and Trevally, so it's a good spot to try if you're on holidays. And hey, if you need bait, straight across the road, Boss Outdoor. Check out those octopus. We're actually having a Barney fighting over that home. Plenty of ockies around, but who wants to know about octopus when there are whiting on the beach? Let's go beach fishing. So recently I've had a bit of a fish down on Main Beach. It is red hot, folks, absolute red hot. Plenty of beach worms down there if you're handy at getting your own worms. A couple little tricks to catching worms. You need a little bit of stink bait to raise them up out of the sand. You see their heads popping up. They'll sit up like this, give them a little bit of bait, curl them up a little bit. They'll arch their back. It's when they arch their back is when you grab them. When you grab them, lift them straight away. If you don't lift them straight away, they're very hard to get out. But I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun in trying to catch some beach worms. Now, if you do, you'll get a whole handful of them. There is a limit on them, 20 worms, and that's 20 pieces. So if you cut one worm up into 20 pieces, that is your bag limit. So be very careful on how you treat your worms. You want to just break off a little bit about 2 to 3 inches long, put it on your hook and thread it up your line a little bit. So a size 2 long shank is ideal. You don't want to fish too small a hook, because otherwise if you get a gut hooked fish you want to release, you won't be able to get that hook out. So better to use a bigger hook. If you catch undersize or unwanted species, you can just release them unharmed. The fish you're going to encounter when you're fishing with beach worms on the beach are brim, quality brim. Brim on the beach, I've said it before, they're my favourites. I love them. And obviously whiting. Whiting are the primary target this summer. Get out on a shallow gutter. You don't want to fish the deeper gutters. So if you do fish a deeper gutter, you're going to end up finding salmon, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad problem to have. And there are some horse salmon around at the moment. So if you do want the salmon, fish the deeper gutters and the deeper holes. But if you want the whiting, you're looking for shallow, stirred up, sudsy, small gutters. That's where the whiting are going to be. If you have a look at the shape of the fish, they're designed to swim in shallow water. So fish the shallows, small ball sinker, you don't need anything heavy, and light leader. Myself, I just use 9-pound monofilament or 10-pound monofilament lines straight through. Keeps the rig nice and simple, and I always end up with a beautiful feed of fish. I think the best thing about beach fishing, guys, is if you just keep it simple. It's just such a pleasurable act to do in the morning or in the afternoon. I really like the morning, watching that sunrise over the horizon. Just can't beat it. You want to know anything more about beach fishing and how to catch beach worms, come in and see us at the store. So if you find yourself fishing out in the bay this weekend, you're in luck, heaps of flatties in the bay, and you don't have to go too far. Again, I had another crack at some flatties just outside the bar, and I mean just outside the bar. And in about 7.8 metres of water, I think it was, from memory, heaps of flatties, 45 centimetre flatties, just perfect. So if you've got a small tinny, it's an ideal time to go and chase those fish. And if you push out a little bit further, say out around the Hunter, there's a heap of gummy sharks. So if you're anchoring in about 25 to 30 metres, just on a drop-off, you want to find a drop-off for gummies. It might sound weird, but you do get them on the reef. They are a sand dweller. They go and eat crabs off the beach and so on. But during the day, on the tide change, they will hunt the reef. So one of their favourite food is a blue-throated wrasse. So if you can catch yourself a blue-throated wrasse, slab it down, and drop it down on a drop-off, you might surprise yourself. You get yourself a good feed of gummies. Now, the other day I watched a guy, or a team of anglers in a boat. They caught 4 gummies, probably about this long, in the space of an hour. So they are there. I don't think it matters about the moon phases. It may help, but tide changes. Try and fish at tide change, and you should find yourself a good feed of gummy shark. Delicious. And for those guys that want to troll a few lures around for kings, heaps of rat kings around Long Point, heaps of salmon with them too. So small skirted lures, small diving lures. The fish aren't big, they aren't legal, but they are a lot of fun. So if you just trolling up and down inside Long Point, you could find yourself some kingfish and salmon. I'm sure the bonito won't be too far away. I think we've got northeast winds this weekend, so it might be a nice option to tuck in out of the wind and just bend a rod and have a bit of fun. With this beautiful warm weather, it's an ideal opportunity and time to chase some Australian bass. Now, there are plenty around. I know that sneaky little Azza that works with us has been getting some absolute rippers, but he won't tell you too much. You'll probably learn about those bass about a month later, but I'll try and pump that information out of him for next week. But look, if you're going up to Brogo Dam, you will get some nice fish up there. Good mate Jared caught some beautiful fish up there the other day out of his kayak. His best was 44 centimetres, so that's pretty big for a Brogo bass. Normally they're around that 30, 35, but beautiful spot to go and do battle with a bass. The water levels are stable, so you can really pepper those log jams right up the backs of the little bays, or get out on the points around the weed. But if you're in the afternoon, I would go up the back of Brogo, up near the old camping ground, and fish surface lures across the weed flats along the weed beds. You'll get some beautiful bass doing that. Such an exciting way to fish. Moving from bass onto the prawns. Shane Shannon's been ripping in again. He got some prawns the other day, dead set, longer than a bourbon can. like unbelievable. I think the prawn weighed an ounce or something. It was close enough to 28 grams anyway. Absolute stonkers. So if you're prawning, get out and do that. Yes, we're leading up to a full moon, but look, it doesn't matter. You get little dark periods where you can do it, especially after the full moon. A lot of people don't know that you've got a little dark period after the full moon, so definitely give it a shot. Marimbula's the place to go unless you know of any other little lakes and up and down the coast. I know Cuttagee's got some prawns. Just explore, get out and have a look around. That's the fun part of prawning. All you need is a net and a bucket and a torch, and away you go. And a fishing license. Don't forget the fishing license. If you're chasing squid, plenty of squid around. Lead up to the full moon is ideal for squid. Tura, haycock, and long point. All the points have squid on them. Find a nice shallow kelpie bay, and I guarantee you'll be able to get some squid. I had a guy come into the shop yesterday, said that he was burning metal lures for salmon, and he had squid chasing his metal lures. So he came in and bought some squid jigs. I guarantee you that guy's got squid today. Well, let's shoot the leaf for this week's offshore report while I package up the deal of the week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Well, the weather's been a bit up and down, hasn't it, this week? We've seen a fair bit of wind, not heaps of boats going out there to chase these marlin. But I just got a phone to Micah. He's just caught another fish today. So there continues to be plenty of fish around. Definitely worthwhile getting out there and having a hit. The water's about 21.5 degrees. There's a bit of current today, so not heaps of fish, but hopefully that current dies down tomorrow and we see a good bite again.
Yeah, thanks, Leif. Okay, fishing report deal of the week. I've come up with a little package for the beach angler. You've got to keep it simple, it's got to be efficient, and then that way you can enjoy it. First and foremost, a sand spike. That's going to go in the sand. You stick your rod in while you're rigging up, or if you just want to relax and leave the bait out there and let the fish catch themselves. Set of worming pliers. So once you get good at catching worms, you catch them with your fingers, they'll stay alive longer. But if you can't get them with your fingers, you'll need a set of pliers. That makes it a whole lot easier to grab them. They're going to slot in there. A little tackle tray. You need a tackle tray to keep all your hooks and sinkers together, the swivels. Nice little easy to grab location there. You got another little pouch over here that you could slide a knife in, or a tube of sunscreen or whatever. And a bait belt. So this bucket with a belt, attach it around your waist, open it up, have all your worms, your pippies, your pilchards, what have you. It's a good accessory to have so you can stay mobile. So if the fish aren't in this gutter, you can move along and fish that gutter. You've got everything with you. All this is going to go together in a shoulder bag. Now this one from Bite Science is an absolute ripper. It's got a mesh bottom on the underneath there, so any fish juice will just drain out. All the Velcro tabs hold down really well. The main Velcro flap keeps the water out of what you've got in there, and on the inside there's actually a waterproof pouch, so handy if you want to put your wallet, your phone, your keys, or anything you don't need to get wet in there. Put the seal the tab up, make sure you seal it. I didn't seal it the other day and I accidentally dropped my fish in that. My wallet and phone and keys had fish juice on them, but no, doesn't matter. They've got these little cleats here. You can run a rag through there or a towel, so if you're fishing, you wash your hands, you can dry. It's just so cool. You keep everything mobile, lightweight, and just easy to use. Now, the recommended retail of this is $82.99. But mention that you watch the fishing report and we'll let you have this whole package for $54.99. That's a huge saving. You're basically getting your worming pliers for free. Come into the store and check it out and grab one of these great packages for your beach fishing this weekend. Rightio, I've got my beach package set up, I've got my rod, I'm heading off fishing. If there's anything else you need to know about where to find worms or which gutters to fish for these whiting, come into Boss Outdoor so we can hook you up.